from 12 Studios, this is News 12 at 10.
Buildings damaged and trees down across parts of Texoma today after a strong storm rolled through. The businesses that were shut down and a house of worship that was destroyed. And it was a calm, clear day after those storms cleared, but it won't stay that way. The storms headed our way that could move your Memorial Day plans inside. Plus, a new law aimed at protecting victims of domestic abuse, how it's changing up sentences for offenders and when it will go into effect. Welcome to News 12 at 10. I'm Meredith McCown. A Tom Bean church is destroyed after getting struck by lightning in the storm overnight. The Grayson County Fire Marshal says around 4 volunteer fire departments responded to the First United Methodist Church just after 2 a.m. He says firefighters were on scene for around 9 hours until 11 in the morning. Reverend Trent Baggett says lightning struck the steeple. He says the sanctuary is a total loss, but other parts of the building are okay.
My job is to help them understand that Christ is with us always, no matter what happens, and we're going to be taken care of.
They plan to continue online services this weekend. And taking a look at storm damage in Cook County, the studio inside KXII in Gainesville is silent for the first time in 12 years. Downed power poles caused a power outage, kicking them off the air. They were still on air when it cut out just after 11 p.m. yesterday. Owner and general manager Steve Eberhardt says crews have been working most of the day to restore power, but says tomorrow will most likely be when things get back and running.
We'll be on Facebook letting people know when we're back, and obviously the sooner the better. We hope that it's today, maybe this evening, worst case perhaps on Sunday.
He says people can keep an eye out on social media for updates. The Frank Buck Zoo was closed today to clean scattered tree limbs from the storm. Director Susan Clevin says the park got heavy rainfall and saw minor flooding in tree limbs all over the park. She says zookeepers cleaned and gave the scraped tree limbs to animals like Jeffrey the giraffe. Clevin says the zoo is aiming to open back up tomorrow. There was a lot of damage in Whitesboro. Several trees and power lines knocked down, blocking roads and driveways, and one tree fell over on a house, damaging part of the roof. The storm also blew roofs off buildings in the area, and in one area, a piece of the roof got blown off into the parking lot, damaging at least one car. And the strong winds tore part of the roof off at Clubble Ranch. Troopers say it was raining outside and the roads were wet during a deadly crash in Bryan County. Troopers say it happened before midnight last night in Cartwright. A Jeep was headed north on State Highway 91, then merged onto Windy Drive and lost control of the car on the wet roads. Troopers say the Jeep rolled twice, throwing the driver from the car, who was pronounced dead at the scene. The driver was not wearing a seatbelt. Their name isn't being released at this time. Tomorrow afternoon might be the only day we catch a break from the rain for the next several days. Tom Hale joins us with a first look at your forecast. Tom.
I'm doing my best to try and get this rain out of here. Just take a look. This was this morning, and as we went through the morning hours to around 11 o'clock, the clouds moved off to the east, skies came out, sunshine hit, and you can see the rain as it piled up. It first came in from the northwest and then moved its way across us last night, noisy with a lot of lightning, and about a half an inch to as much as an inch and a half. Did it affect our high temperatures? No. Nakona had 90, bunch of 88s and 87s. We're about 4 degrees above normal and a little bit warmer than I expected. But tonight, temperatures will tumble, and there's a 30% chance we'll see some more rain across parts of Texoma. And then tomorrow, I've got a 50% chance, but I'm hoping that's going to happen late in the afternoon so we get a little part of the day to have some fun outside. I'll have all the timing on those storms coming up.
Thank you, Tom. There are 26 new COVID-19 cases reported in Texoma today. Grayson County now has 296 cases after confirming 9 new cases this evening. The county's cases make up around 45% of the total in Texoma. Lamar County confirmed a new case this afternoon, bringing the county's total to 134. Love County reported 8 new cases, bringing its total to 14. McCurtain County added another 5 cases for a total of 20 23. Bryan County now has 21 after confirming another 2 cases, and Carter County added 1 new case for a total of 22. There have been 656 positive COVID-19 cases across Texoma, up 253 from this time last week. As the unofficial start of summer kicks off this Memorial Day weekend, coronavirus restrictions have loosened in all 50 states, but there are concerns that a spike in cases could follow. Michael George has the latest from New York.
Minnesota Governor Tim Walz announced that churches in his state will open their doors again on Wednesday, with restrictions.
Starting on May 27th, places of worship may open at a 25% occupancy if they adhere to social distancing and other public health guidelines to keep congregants safe.
As social distancing rules continue to ease around the country, many tourist destinations are welcoming visitors this Memorial Day weekend.
We're 100% occupied all the way until Monday.
Jerry Dye is a laid-off restaurant manager visiting Panama City Beach, Florida from Nashville.
Having to stay at home and having to worry about this and that. When am I going back to work? And now things are starting to become a little bit more clear.
People are dining in at restaurants in Raleigh, North Carolina, with tables 6 feet apart. The staff wearing masks and gloves.
It feels good to be able to sit down and get a nice cocktail and eat a meal that's not in my apartment.
And beaches in parts of Southern California are open again this weekend, marking the unofficial start of summer.
We are still in the phase of no sitting, no standing. Stay-at-home orders are still in effect.
I'm more nervous about people coming in groups to the beach. Say, like, if you were to come with like 6 to 10 of your friends, like that's problematic.
Up north in Sacramento, protesters rallied at the Capitol against Governor Gavin Newsom's stay-at-home orders, calling the event Liberty Fest. Michael George, CBS News, New York.
A bill that reclassifies several domestic abuse charges as violent crimes was signed by Governor Stitt this week. House Bill 3251 was signed into law and means convicted offenders could serve more time and receive more scrutiny when up for parole. Carrie Matthew with New Directions in Lawton says this is something the Oklahoma Coalition Against Domestic Violence and Sexual Assault has been working on for a while.
So this is wonderful for victims in Oklahoma because it's going to send a clear message that, domestic violence is a violent crime and that offenders need to be held accountable.
House Bill 3251 passed unopposed in the House and passed on a 43-2 vote in the Senate. The reclassification goes into effect November 1st. The Stevens County District Attorney's Office has a brand new furry coworker. They've brought in a therapy dog to have in the office. The dog, named Sunny, will work with victims and children to give them some emotional support as they deal with situations like testifying in court. The Golden Retriever has been trained to work with victims, and the DA's office has high hopes for him.
We wanted a dog that was going to be a little more gentle with a victim or a witness who's going to be in here, and the Goldens completely fit that bill, and that's why we went with this one.
The office says Sunny will be 2 years old in August. Coming up on News 12 at 10, what one state's high testing rate says to experts, plus some new numbers from South America to keep an eye on.